Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be doing a stock review on Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth. Okay, Canopy Growth stock is expecting to go above $20. So we're going to get into the details. We're going to go over their all their financials and their information, and we're going to break down what Canopy Growth is all about. If any of you guys know, Canopy Growth is a producer of, for most people, marijuana, but they also do CBD as well, okay? And so not only for medicinal use for Canopy Growth, but also for recreational use for I'm tearing up the name, Canopy Growth. Okay, so let's look into Canopy Growth, but let's first break down Cannabidiol. Okay, Cannabidiol is what some people also known as CBD. So let's break that down. Let me share my screen with you so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at, so we can get some sort of better understanding of what cannabidiol is. Okay, cannabidiol. It says cannabidiol is a phytocannabinoid discovered in 1940. It is one of 113 identified cannabinoids in cannabis plants and accounts for up to 40% of the plant's extract. Okay, now basically what this is essentially, it's the same effects of what some people may call marijuana, but without the high, meaning it can be worked for anti-inflammatory or help someone to relax without the head high, the body high, however people look at it. Okay, so let's read just a little bit more about it from harvard.edu. I'm not going to get into the details of it all. It says cannabidiol has been recently covered in the media, and you may have seen it as an add-in booster to your post-workout smoothie or morning coffee. What exactly is CBD? Why it's suddenly so popular? Okay, so let's go into the huge difference, essentially, of what cannabidiol from marijuana. CBD stands for cannabidiol. It's the second most prevalent of the active ingredient of cannabis, aka marijuana. While CBD is an essential component of medical marijuana, it is derived directly from the hemp plant, which is a cousin of the marijuana plant. Okay, two different plants. While CBD is a component of marijuana, one of the hundreds, but itself, it does not cause a high. According to a report from the WHO, World Health Organization, in humans, CBD exhibit no effects indicative of any abuse or dependency potential. To date, there is no evidence of public health-related problems associated with the use of pure CBD. And then they get into if cannabidiol is legal. We understand how that goes back and forth through certain states. Again, I'm here in Texas, one of the most red states there is, and it's legal. There's CBD shops. When I used to live in Washington, they had mostly marijuana shops that sold CBD, because people are like, I'm just gonna get the marijuana, but the THC, and if my cousin, my brother, my mother don't want the high, I'll get them CBD. So most shops in Washington State will sell will be marijuana, but they will also have CBD products in case you didn't want to get that high. And then you get into the health benefits. It says CBD has been touted for a wide variety of health issues, but the strongest scientific evidence is for its effectiveness in treating some of the cruelest childhood epilepsy syndromes, such as Dravet syndrome and Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which typically don't respond to anti-seizure medications. In numerous studies, CBD was able to reduce the number of seizures, and in some cases, it was able to stop them altogether. Videos of this effects of CBD on these children and their seizures are readily available on the internet for viewing, and they are quite striking. Recently, the FDA approved the first ever cannabis-derived medicine from these conditions, okay? And Epidiolex, which contains CBD. All right, so that's the information I have on CBD. let's go over to our friend, our neighbor, and this is the information that Canopy Growth Corporation has. It says Canopy Growth Corporation, formerly Tweed Marijuana Incorporated, is a cannabis company based in Smith Falls, Ontario. Tweed was founded by Bruce Linton and Chuck Raffaele in 2013 and renamed Canopy Growth Corporation in 2015 after a merger with Beacon Canada. Right now, their stock is up 4%. So I'm going to skip you over to Robinhood really quickly. So already today, the stock is up 7.55%. So 7.5. Why is that? Let's read a little bit more about the company. Canopy Growth Corporation engages in the production and sale of medical cannabis. The company offers products including oils and concentrates, soft gel capsules, and hemp. So you can take this in any form, and I'm pretty sure they make candy, hard candy, soft candy, or you name it. They probably have it all. Because once a cannabis company pops up, they make edibles as well, because some people don't want to smoke. They also make oils. You can put it in your food, things of that nature, okay? Let's see what else they have here. It focuses on the treatment of chronic pain, seizures, muscle spasms, nausea, and loss of appetite. I'm not saying I take it. The company was founded by Bruce Linton on August 5th, 2009, and is headquartered in Smith Falls, Canada. So here's the main things I want you guys to think about when you think about cannabis-based products, okay? Cannabis-based products. Some may not be informed about all the medical uses of it, because I know people in California have been using medical marijuana for years. And some of the key things, other than seizures, okay, I'm not too familiar with seizures. As you can tell, I was butchering the names earlier. I'm not too familiar with seizures, but two things I am familiar with. Being a football player in college, muscle spasms and chronic pain, okay? Chronic pain. Also been in the military, having chronic pain. Some of my injuries won't go away. So they're saying that this will relieve. So if anybody has ever taken any sort of cannabis-based product, whether it be THC or CBD, would tell you that it actually helps lessen the pain or altogether just wipe it away. So you're not, when we're talking about investing in a product, the one thing you, in my opinion, that you want to know, that you need to know, is what is the product about? And why do you think it will become successful? Right? Because you're not just aimlessly and blindly investing in stocks that you don't have any information about. You want to invest in stocks that you have some sort of knowledge, how the company came about, what are the products, and where are they headed? Okay. Here are their collections, but here's, is this the one I was reading earlier? That is not the news story. But right now, it says 24, the analysts are saying out of 21 analyst ratings, buy is 24%, hold is 62%, sell is 14%. You can get into their quarterly earnings. I'm not going to go over that right now. And one of the top contenders are down here, Chronos Group and Aurora Cannabis. But now, I'm going to take you over to what THC is all about. Tetrahydrocannabinoid, okay? Tetrahydrocannabinoid. It says it can treat or prevent nausea and vomiting caused by cancer medication when other medications do not work. It can also increase the appetite of people with AIDS, okay? So there's, of course, a lot of other medicinal use. Even though it has the THC, which gives you that high, it still has some of the properties and healing that your regular CBD has, okay? Because if anybody's ever smoked THC, aka marijuana, then they probably will feel really relaxed with a high versus with CBD, feeling relaxed with no pain, but without the high, okay? It's not that I know a lot about the information, I just read a lot. Okay. All right, let's get into, it says CBD versus THC, what's the difference? I know, I'm going over a lot of information, guys, so you understand the difference between the two and exactly what you are investing in, because I believe that it's imperative that you guys understand the difference and then make your sound decision, because you may not agree with a company that actually is doing THC and CBD. But let me tell you, I tell people, do not become an emotional investor. Learn about the stock, learn about the company, and make your investments, okay? Warren Buffett once said he does not invest in any company he does not know, meaning he's just not looking at the line chart and like, oh, that stock looks good. Let me do this, let me do that. No, what he does is he learns about the company, learns about the financials, learns about where the company is going, then he invests. All right, let's learn a little bit more about CBD versus THC. And then we're going to buy, I'm going to see if I can buy me an option here, if it doesn't keep blowing up while I'm talking and running my mouth. Anyway, as the legal use of hemp and other cannabis products grows, consumers are becoming more curious about their options. This includes cannabinoid CBD and tetrahydrocannabinol THC, two natural components found in plants of the cannabis genus. CBD can be extracted from the hemp or cannabis. Hemp and cannabis came from the cannabis sativa plant. Legal hemp must contain 0.3% THC or less. CBD is sold in the form of gels, gummies, oils, supplements, extracts, and more. THC is the main psychoactive compound in cannabis that produces the high sensation. It can be, I get high, wrong song. It can be consumed by smoking cannabis. It is also available in oils, edibles, textures, capsules, and more. Both compounds interact with your body's endocannabinoid system, but they have very different effects, okay? So they get into the chemical structure and blah, blah, blah. I just want to read that a little bit to you. So let's go over here. Now, they're up 7%. Let's see what I can do over here. Now, I don't have any money in my account, but again, I hate investing on Robinhood when it comes to on the website, unfortunately, guys. I love going to my app. It's just much, much easier. So bear with me here as I'm gonna buy a quick option here. Let's see, CGC. So I'm there, trade option, just to show you what's going on right here. That's exactly what I'm doing. I want to buy on a call. The first call, it says, if you can see this, it says high risk short term. I like to go with those because you can make money very quickly, but it is costly. It is costly because you're banking on that it's going to get to 20. And is that 18 right now? So I kind of want to cut the difference here. Is that 18 right now? If I buy the option at $17, look at this. You see that right there? But if I go up to 20, where's 20 at? Then their price is a lot different. And we're looking at the price in this column where you see the green at, okay? So the price is currently at 18. So, and it continues to go up. So right now it's at 18.10. Let's see, how much is one option? Continue. If I buy one option, limited price, good for the day. I don't want to do it that way. If your order doesn't execute, expire 90 days. That's the one I like to do. Sometimes I like to do it for the day. If your order doesn't execute, it will expire at the market close. Okay, so how many do I want to buy here? Let's just go with, I want to buy 10. No, I don't want to buy 10. I want to buy around 5. No. This is what you kind of got to work through. All right, 3. I can do 3. And then I don't have the money. So Robinhood is going to take me to deposit this amount of money. Then I don't have to go back. This is how I do it every single time. I know I'm wasting money. I should just keep money in there. But I'm one of those people, I don't want any money left over. Okay. So now they went up to 102 because it's still going up. All right, here we go. Deposit $3. This is ridiculous. Robinhood, get it together. It's more like me, get it together. It's not Robinhood. So if it goes up again, I'm just going to buy 2 because Robinhood is very, very slow. All right, here we go. All right, done and done. So now I've bought 3 options, okay, of Canopy Growth. So it should be up here somewhere. Where is it? Let me refresh. Robinhood always takes a minute. And if it doesn't pop up, we're going to continue to move on and dive into some details about Canopy Growth. And like I thought, It did not pop up. Okay. Now, I know I did a limit order, so it takes sometimes on those particular orders instead of doing it as the market is live. But we're going to move on and we're going to get into some more information about Canopy Growth. All right, I thought I had my market watch popped up for you guys. I did not. We're going to look at it really quickly and break down the stock even more. Again, Market Watch is one of my favorites. I don't know how to spell it. There we go. I'm not associated or affiliated with Market Watch, but they should sponsor me because I'm always using their website for my research. Anyway, right now, as you can tell, as we look at the EPS, I'll blow this up a little bit more because I know once I do a full screen, it won't show it. Right here. They're operating out of debt. But there is some information that I'm going to go back on to show you why I believe futuristically, and that means like in the next couple of months, I think they're going to do fairly well. It says 5-day performance 3%, 1 month 12.5%, 3 month 8.6%, and then year to date they are operating out of debt. Their performance have not been good year to date or neither year, but they are turning around. Look at this right here as of yesterday. Canopy Growth's new online store provides one-stop shop for growing U.S. product portfolio. They came out with a online CBD form website for you guys to go and buy, because if it's legal in your state, you will allow to buy it. Let's see. Canopy Growth, a world-leading diversified cannabis, hemp, and cannabis device company, today announced the launch of its new e-commerce website. So they are already doing pretty well here. Let me look at some more information for you guys as we are live, so I can give you, and my phone is jacked up. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. We're going to get this together. All right. Let's see if we can find their website, just in case you guys are curious, because I'm a little bit curious. I'm not going to lie about it. Canopy Growth website. Here we go. We're going into the lion's den. All right, pretty good website. Look so far. Access brands, innovation, products. Look into products. This is the research I do, guys. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Good morning, Jermaine Anderson, and good morning, Charles Green. Thanks for joining me this morning. We're getting into, it says edibles. We're releasing a high line of quality edible cannabis products. Our facility in Smith Falls producing cannabis-infused chocolates. More edibles will roll out in the months and years ahead. Again, if you're not investing in Canopy Growth, again, this is kind of like what I was talking about Bitcoin. You're not investing in the future. As society, mostly the dominant society, begin to lessen their demonization of cannabis, cannabis companies are going to do a lot better. And let me tell you something about demonizing a certain sector. Now, one thing people always love to bring up is Woodstock. Okay, they love to bring up Woodstock because that's when everybody was out there smoking weeds, blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, whoever out there. It was kind of like the era of the hippie, and everybody was smoking weed. For some strange reason, after that particular event, 80s, 90s, 2000, it was kind of like shameful to smoke marijuana or do edible products all of a sudden. Now, Native Americans have been doing some sort of hemp derivative products for a long time, and they did it to get high. Okay, they did it to get high. Now, there is another Native American drug that they used to do was very potent. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, I don't recall the name, but if anybody knows what I'm talking about, please put it in the chat for the other viewers to know. But it's I think it's a hallucinogenic, essentially, and it's very powerful. But they did it as a sense for two reasons: to get high and to somehow communicate or walk or, inside the spirit realm, as they will call it. But when it came to hemp, the medicinal uses and also the feeling of getting high, okay? Getting to another part of your body, what they call that out-of-body experience. But as evolution and science and research are showing us that when we go out, okay, when we go out and you get prescribed medicine, right? They give you all these pain medicines, but you have 1,395 side effects. Like, yes, sir, we understand that you have glaucoma. What we're going to do, we're going to prescribe you with this particular drug. Okay, you know, why that drug? Well, this is the one that has the less side effects. Okay, what is the side effects? Oh, well, sir, it may have you to have diarrhea, constipation, bleeding out your ear orifices, bleeding out your nose, your eyebrows may fall off. I mean, they come up with all of these different things, okay? Greetings, Willie Mae. It says mushroom shrooms. That is one of them, but it was another one. I think it's Paco, or I forgot the name of it. I'm not saying all Native American tribes did it. I know some of them did do it. But anyway, all these particular medicinal uses that they actually used it for, now we're doing the research and finding out the science behind it. And what that is going to hurt is when people say, okay, well, you're giving me oxycodone. You know that drug can also make me hallucinate. That drug has a lot of side effects. And the most important thing is what? It's addictive. It's highly addictive. That's why, if you notice, the millennials, Generation Y, Generation Z, well, not Generation Z yet, not until they get to a certain age, I hope, they are addicted to prescription drugs. Now, some of them got into the addiction by way of another friend, by way of maybe they got injured and they got addicted to that drug, okay? Nowadays, people are calling it what? Lean, where they take prescription drugs and cough syrup or something that's mixed with codeine and Sprite or soda or something, and they mix it up and make a drink for them to get high, okay? For them to get high. And believe it or not, a lot of people have died from this. Lil Wayne came out about him addicted to lean, and now he stopped because I think he had a heart attack, he had a seizure, he had something, which kind of was an eye opener, like, hold up. When I was doing weed, I was just fine, right? And some people will have you believe, and now I've gotten into this argument with so many people. Believe me, I got in this argument with so many people that weed is addictive. I'm talking about not the CBD, but the THC. THC is addictive. Now, let me tell you the difference between, this is just my experience. I'm no scientist. Well, in the military, I had two jobs. I won't tell you the first one, but the second one was I was chemical specialist. So I won't say I'm a scientist, but I've done research. How about that? But anyway, the thing about that is there has been no proven study. Now, prove me if I'm wrong. Prove me if I'm wrong. There's no proven study that when people are smoking marijuana with the THC, okay, marijuana, that they have a chemical dependency on it, like tobacco, cocaine, heroin, and alcohol. Because when you come off those drugs, which are highly addictive. Now, granted, if you guys say, man, I ain't addicted to alcohol, I have a drink every day and I don't depend on it, that's totally different. If you up there drinking a 6-pack or a case of beer a day, I'm not saying you an alcoholic, but you may have a problem. That's all I'm saying. That's just my opinion. That's my point of view. Okay, I'm not going to diagnose you with alcoholism. But the point I'm making here is I have known people say, man, you smoke weed every day. Oh, no, man, I'm addicted. I'm like, no, you're not addicted. Like, yes, I am. I can't go without weed, or I'll go crazy, or I'll get mad, I'll get angry. Like, no, you just probably need therapy. Okay? Because now, granted, some people might say you need therapy and to be diagnosed, right? But you're not addicted to the weed. You may be addicted to the high of weed. It's a difference. An alcoholic may have their favorite drink, but they would drink whatever they can get their hands on. Because believe it or not, alcoholics have preference. You have alcoholics that they want alcohol, and you have alcoholics who want beer. Okay, you have cokeheads who want crack, and you have cokeheads who want powder. And I'm deconstructing all of this so you guys have a well-rounded understanding of drugs and what your investments when it comes to Canopy Growth is. Because we can get into Aurora Cannabis and the Chronos Group, okay? Because what are you saying? Maybe the Canopy Growth stock is kind of out of your price budget at $18.20. So I'm gonna look up the Chronos Group because I think Chronos Group was doing fairly well. Let's see. Chronos Group. We're going to look at this one fairly quickly too, because this may be at a price point that's in your budget, but we're going to briefly go over the financials so you guys can say, okay, yeah, I don't mind getting into that stock. Okay. So here we are, Chronos Group. This is another cannabinoid THC marijuana company. Right down here, guys, engages in the production and distribution of cannabis. Its brands includes Peace Natural, Cove, Spinach, Lord Jones, and Peace Plus. The company is founded by the Lauren Michaels Gentner and Paul Rosen on August 21st, 2012, and headquarters in Toronto, Canada. Do you understand that a couple of years back, okay, because I lived in Washington for quite some time, I want to say about 5 years back, I was up in Canada, maybe 6 years. Let me back it up a little bit. It's about 6 years I was up in Canada, and they were protesting to make marijuana, to make cannabis legal. And cannabis is legal throughout the entire country of Canada. Okay, throughout the entire country of Canada. Here's the thing. I don't know why some red states are so against weed, where people in that state smoke weed. And I mean the one with the THC. I don't get it. I know that it has boosted Washington State's revenue. And a lot of the proceeds, a lot of that money is going to the school system. So it's like, are we encouraging weed smoking if we make it legal? Maybe. But I know you ain't going to stop nobody from smoking weed, because guess what? If you want the weed, you will find the weed. You're like, well, I'm no smoker, so they drink it. I'm no drinker, so they eat it. I'm no eater, so they use oil and they put it on their skin, and it permeates through their skin and gives them that high. However, they're making any way for you, if you want this product, to have it. Right? Because maybe you don't want to ingest it. Maybe you don't want to inhale it. Maybe you don't want to smoke it. Maybe you just want to put it on as a body oil. And you're like, ooh. Hour later, you know what? Y'all go ahead, man. I'm just going to chill here. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's just a matter of the different ways that they're going about this. And again, as a dominant society, that doesn't mean minorities. A dominant society, as they begin to understand, which they probably already did, and loosen the chains of demonizing marijuana, you're going to start seeing CBD and marijuana stores around the nation. And my thing is this. Here's my two things. One is off topic, one is on topic. The one that's off topic is this. I have a concealed handgun license for the state of Florida that covers essentially 34 states, and I have one for the state of Washington because they don't talk to each other. Florida doesn't cover Washington, okay? What I don't understand is those independent gun companies, they can go out, or the federal government needs to initiate this, they can go out and get a federal license to give people a federal gun license, meaning that federal license doesn't mean you can go in court buildings and all of that jazz or national federal museums with your gun. No. What I mean is that it covers the entire United States. Why do I have to go throughout 50 states, and some states don't cover this state? Well, Texas concealed handgun license doesn't cover Utah, but Utah covers Hawaii, but Hawaii doesn't cover DC. We're all over the map. We just need one standard. You go through a course, or you was prior military, or prior something where you had training with a handgun and a rifle, and you go in, you show them the proper paperwork, or you get the proper training for a week or 2 weeks, whatever they mandate, and you get a federal license. That way you can carry your gun in each and every state legally. Okay? If NRA and all these other, because I'm part of the, I forgot the name of the group. I'm going to show you guys the name of the group here pretty soon that I'm a member of. But it's a Black organization for handgun carrying. I used to be part of the NRA a long time ago. And then when I found out more information about them, I kind of like let that expire essentially. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, everybody is a contradiction of themselves. Meaning is you may hear somebody say something 1 month, 1 year, but the next 1 or 2, 3 years later, they may change their stance on something because of what? Either evolution, maturity, or information. Because you don't know things at a particular time, so you make a decision. When you find out more information and your minds continue to grow and you become more wise, you make better decisions. Evolution. So that's what we need to understand about life in general, about anything. Okay, so Canopy Growth, and we're talking about the Chronos Group right now. So I'm going to show you this organization because I'm on it. I told you I was going to be off topic just a little bit. But I'm a member of this particular club right here. It is called Black Gun Owners Associations. Okay, Black Gun Owners Association. Pretty nice website. And the only thing it's doing is a website that's similar to the NRA, where you sign up and they have certain protections and you can get insurance and you can get instructions and how to, fire a firearm and this, that, and the other. Now, if we live in a country where majority of people that have firearms for home protection or recreation, because some people do competitions and things of that matter, it's not a matter if you agree with guns or not. This is my opinion. Because this is my second time living in Texas. The first time I lived in Texas, I was still in the military, but I did not own my own personal gun. I was like, well, I need a gun for them in the military. They say a buddy of mine like, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that? And I started to think, and then as I traveled around Texas, everybody had a gun. And they're like, yeah, man, you're in Texas. I was like, okay. Because in DC, I'm originally from DC, we couldn't have guns. We couldn't carry guns, right? Because DC is not a state, even though we're taxed like a state. Puerto Rico, where you at? Anyway, because they don't get taxed because they're a territory. But the point I'm making is, if you're not interested in guns, I totally understand, but it is good to know about them and maybe have one in your home. I'm just saying, Breonna Taylor. I'm just saying. So that is my point about joining. And my thing is, maybe you don't want to join the Black Gun Owners Association. Maybe you're uncomfortable with that. Maybe you want to join the NRA. There's still benefits and protections in both, but we understand kind of the rhetoric and the racial disparities around how the NRA is viewed, right? Because a lot of times, and I don't know the dates exactly, one of the protections that the NRA was giving out a long time ago, I believe in the late 60s, early 70s, is about gun ownership and people having the ability to carry assault rifles. But when was it the Black Panther Party, they showed up at the Capitol, they showed up at some sort of state's building, holding their assault rifles, and they started to put bans and limitations and regulations because Black people showed up with guns. So that's why I kind of lean towards the Black Gun Owners Association. But I'm not saying the NRA is a bad company. I'm just saying some of their history, some of the information around it is sketchy, in my opinion. Again, you make decisions for you based on the information that you have. So that is where I'm at in life. Okay, back on it. We're on Chronos Group because we already talked about Canopy Growth, which is kind of like near the $20 mark. So if you guys are still under that $10 mark, let's look a little bit inside of this. Let's look at the line chart. So today they're up 4.4%. For the past week, they've only been close to 2%. The past month, 14%. 3 months, 10%. But in the past year, they've been down 54%. And then 5 years have been down 9%. So again, when they first came out, all of these groups they did well and then they tanked. But they're still around, they're still popping because again, as we evolve, as we become smarter and understand that, that oxycodone that the doctor gave me is making me feel loopy. But this gives me a high, but I'm okay with it. Makes me feel a little lightheaded. I'd rather feel lightheaded than loopy. That's kind of some of the side effects that I've heard, especially when you're taking it in a medicinal use. But believe me, loopy and feeling a head high are two different things. Because when I had shoulder surgery, they gave me oxycodone. I took one pill and I was like, I'm not taking that no more. Okay, they gave me oxycodone, they gave me aspirin, they gave me another pain medicine called Celebrex. And I'm like, I'm not taking that stuff no more. I'm not, no, like I'm in there like, I didn't know if I was tired, drunk, high, did hallucinogenics. I don't know. I was just, and then they give you all this other medicine. Like they gave me some medicine to loosen up my stool because the other medicine dehydrates you. You know, when you get diagnosed with stuff, and some of you can attest to this, they don't just give you one medicine. They give you 5, 6, 7 medicines. Because I had like 5 medicines. They said, well, when you take this, take this. And when you take that, if it does that, take this. And when you take those two, if it does this and that, take this. You know what I'm talking about? So it's crazy. But they don't want marijuana to succeed. They don't want CBD, cannabinoid, to succeed because it doesn't have all those side effects. The largest side effect I've ever heard from cannabis is being lightheaded, which other people know it as being high, depending on if you take THC or CBD. You know, CBD you shouldn't get high CBD at all. But the most I've heard from THC of somebody using it for pain is lightheaded. So let me read some of your notes and see what you guys are saying out there. All right. Who we have in the chat today? Hey, good morning, Nolan Baptiste. Okay. So let me ask you guys something. I'm gonna look at one more cannabis stock while you guys get your thoughts together. And this one is Aurora Cannabis. You guys probably heard about that too. They are another stock that has been doing kind of the same way that Canopy Growth, but Canopy Growth, once they built that website, let me tell you something. Things are going to change drastically here. All right, now Aurora Cannabis is under $20 and is a little bit over $10, as you can tell. It's about, it's $11.17. So let's read a little bit about this. Aurora Cannabis engages in the production, distribution, and sale of cannabis products. It also produces and sells indoor cultivation systems and hemp-related food products. So that means if you guys want to start your own, cannabis farm for CBD-related products, if you're in certain states, or THC-related products if you're in certain states, they have the cultivation systems for you. The company was founded by Terry Booth and Steve Dobler on December 21st, 2006, and headed in where? Canada. See, Canada just didn't make cannabis legal. Canada just didn't make cannabis legal. They also went public. These companies went public when they got to a certain point to get more money from investors to believe in. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Again, just like Bitcoin, cannabis is not going anywhere. THC is not going anywhere. CBD is not going anywhere. Okay? If you listen to any rap song, I'm not saying rap songs are bad because not all of them are bad. Shout out to Lil Baby in the bigger picture. But the point I'm making here is they talk about it all the time, right? And you know what? Here's another thing. And maybe you know some guys who've done this. But where I'm from, I've never seen guys smoke weed, right? Get high, and to go do a drive-by. I've never seen it. I'm not saying they haven't. I just never heard about it. Now, what I have seen, if they were drinking, they did certain illegal activity. Okay, I'm not saying names. I'm not saying places. I'm not saying the activity. I'm just saying they've done illegal things because they were drinking. But I've never seen a group of high guys smoking weed like, yeah, man, let's go out and rob that dude. Let's go out and beat this dude up. No, because we have this term in DC when I was younger. You'll be smoking weed and like, yeah, man, we about to go get some food. Like, yeah, man, bring me back a burger or whatever. Like, wow, come on, dog, come with us. Nah, man, no, I'm stuck. Anybody heard of this term, I'm stuck? Meaning that you so high, you just like, I don't want to do nothing. That's being stuck. Okay. So that's the point I'm trying to make. I've never seen or heard guys smoke marijuana and want to go do something. Matter of fact, I've never seen guys smoke marijuana and then drive and speed. They usually get in the middle lane or the right lane and just play their music and zone out. Okay. Here's a question I like to ask people, right? It's a very controversial, argumentative question. Because I know most people's like, neither. I don't want anybody on the road under the influence of any sort of drug at all that changes their natural state. And I got that. But hypothetically speaking, it's late at night, 2 a.m. in the morning. It's you and 100 drivers on the road, 100 cars on the road, including you. Now, those other drivers are under the influence. Now, I want you to choose which one. The other 100 drivers are under the influence of alcohol or marijuana. Which one would you choose? Which one would you choose? Would you want the other drivers on the road to be under the influence of alcohol or under the influence of marijuana? You guys, let me know in the chat. I'm just curious. I love asking that question because I'm like, I know me. I want them to be under the influence of marijuana because I've been in a couple of places and cars where people were high and I felt safe. I mean, the speed limit was 50 when we were going 35, but I felt safe. Then I've been in the truck like, hey, man, you good to drive? Yeah, man, I'm good to drive. Like, well, why are you swerving? Why are you across the line? Why are you speeding? Like, two different behaviors, okay? Anyway, let's get into Aurora Cannabis. 17 rating, 24% of the analyst ratings saying buy, 24%. The 65% says hold, 12% says sell. And here's some information in late May from the Morning Star. Aurora is expanding product into Denmark, Portugal, and Uruguay. So here's another stock that is actually growing. Again, we're investing for the present and the future. So a lot of times when you go back here, and you look at, they've been doing really good in the past 5 years, 159% in the past year. They've been down. See, that's what I'm saying. So you can't really, when it comes to marijuana stocks, you have to invest for the future, even though I'm really impressed over the 5 years, 159%. Okay, the last month they've been down 8%. The past week they've been down roughly 4%. But today they are up. And this stock is under $20. Again, we started off with Canopy Growth. Then we went to a stock that's under $10 with Chronos Group. And now we're with Aurora Cannabis. All of these three companies are out of Canada because we understand that Canada, nationwide in Canada, marijuana is legal. Okay. All right. It says Cashy Kev, message hacker short on Instagram. He just gave me money on my Cash App. I don't understand what that means, but moving right along. Okay, it's on the list of the 100 most popular stocks and most popular under 25 stocks. Let's look at the quarterly earnings. So quarter one, they were up. Quarter two, they began to decline. In quarter three, they took a deep dive, okay? But as I'm telling you, let's invest for the future. And all of these stocks are doing well. Let's go back to Canopy Growth. Because Canopy Growth is up 6% today. They're up 6%. And if you can tell, guys, look at my contracts. See, right here. Right in the middle right here. I have 3 contracts worth $90, and I'm already down 12%. So, again, that's because at 9:55 a.m., they declined a little bit. And I tell you, a lot of times when it comes to information and buying options, I could make more money with a more riskier option that expires in a shorter time frame versus if I stretch that option out for a month or two, I will still get returns, but they won't be as high. So again, I risk losing my $90 based upon the riskier option that I bought at that time, if that makes any sense. Jermaine Anderson says, what's good number of shares to have when you're buying a stock like this? Well, it really depends on your budget. Okay, it really depends on your budget. Now, you have to know where your portfolio is. Like my portfolio is probably not doing that well today. Okay, I'm up $99. Okay, I'm up $99. I'm not doing too bad. I got Neo. Neo is bouncing back. Woo! I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I know I'm getting off topic, but man, are you looking at Bitcoin? Did your boy tell you about Bitcoin 2 days ago? Man, I should be like a stock Nostradamus or Ray Damas or Ross Damas or financial. They all sound horrible, don't they? Oh, they can call me a predictionist. Is that a word, predictionist? No, I'm getting weird. Anyway, but I told you about 2 or 3 days ago when Bitcoin was at 9,200, 9,300. And I said, listen, these particular people from these organizations said that Bitcoin was going to blow up, and look at it right now. You get what I'm trying to say? It is blowing out. Look, listen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are we looking at this? Are we looking at this, guys? Bitcoin is up to 11,200. And granted, it may go back down or it may continue to go up. But if you would have invested when I gave you guys the information, I was in my car, right? And I was like, hey, I heard this information about Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. Maybe a good investment for you to look into. Look at this. This is crazy. And this for you to get some sort of perspective. Let me blow this up a little bit for guys who may be looking at a lower resolution. Okay. Let's go to the week. Okay. Right now it's up $134 roughly. Let's go for the week. $1,700, almost $1,800 for the past week. Are you kidding me? Look at this. So some of you all is gonna go back down. It doesn't matter. A fellow subscriber, I forgot her name, but she asked me. She said, "When should she buy Bitcoin?" And I'm gonna tell you guys the same information I gave her. Continue to buy stocks. Continue to buy digital currencies each and every month. DCA, dollar cost averaging. Okay. If your budget is $150 a month, then I tell people allocate a lot, $25 to Bitcoin every month. Because again, Bitcoin is investing in the future. So invest in the future, not the past. Okay. So invest in the future. Now, I invest in gold too, because gold ain't going nowhere either. Gold is still a precious and rare metal. So I invest in that as well. But Bitcoin is doing big things. Okay, let's look for the past month here. The past month is up $1,900. 3 months, $3,300. I want you guys just to, I'm trying to tell you guys, stop being scared when it comes to investing. Because you guys blow money all the time. I know I do. Sometimes I just get stupid with money. I buy things that I don't need or I don't need at the time. And that money should go into your investments. Me and my girlfriend, we had this conversation. We were like, let's do this, because we just bought this new house. Like, let's do this, let's do this. I'm like, whoa. Are we going to stay in this house? Because, we're going to stay in this house 3 to 5 years. We're going to do things to increase the value of the home, right? Increase the equity, the sellability, the marketability of the home. But we don't want to do certain things to the home to make it truly ours. We're going to make it ours, certain decor, pictures, decorations here and there. But when you start doing major constructions of our home and you're like, well, I put $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 inside the home, those upgrades may not be returnable when you sell the home, right? So my point is, don't make investments that are not going to bring you future returns, even though it might sound good at the time, especially when you're going to sell, right? But when it comes to Bitcoin, the future for Bitcoin, supposedly, with all these analysts and experts in the digital currency, the cryptocurrency realm, are saying that it's going to blow out the water. So, ladies and gentlemen, continue to buy Bitcoin each and every month, wherever your budget is, whether it be $25 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month. It doesn't matter if it dropped down to 9,000, or it dropped down to 8,000 and 7,000 at one point. Now it's back up to 11. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go back to live. It's up to 11,100, because it's going to continue to buy you fragments and increments and pieces of Bitcoin. Then one day you're going to have the amount, because Bitcoin is ever growing. Right. So if anybody has 21,000 in Bitcoin, so they roughly have, 22,000 in Bitcoin, they roughly have 2 Bitcoins. Right. But if they don't continue to invest in it, their shares is going to decline. Just like anybody else is like, oh, I have this many shares of Google. So if you buy at a certain price point, those shares are going to increase in value with the stock, right? But you can buy more at a lower price point. Because again, when I look at Bitcoin, it's very volatile, it's very new when it comes to money, it's very new, and people are skeptical, but this is the way of the future, okay? This is the way of the future. All right, I'm off my high horse. Let me go back. Okay. So let me look at my options. Now that you can this morning I bought 3 options for Canopy Growth, and I'm already down $30. I don't look at it. Because this right here, when you start to look at it like, oh, I made a bad investment, and you start to become emotional. You don't want to become emotional when it comes to investing. You will lose a lot more than you ever invest when you become emotional in your investments. I assure you, you become very emotional. Okay, guys, that's my time for today. So hopefully you got some great insight, some great information, a lot of bias of how I look at things and my point of view. But nonetheless, if you guys are new to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You guys have a great and wonderful day, and look out for my next video at 2 p.m. Central Time about the updates about stimulus, okay? Updates about stimulus. If we understand that the Republicans and Democrats took a meeting yesterday, because guess what? I'm gonna give you guys the real deal when it comes to this information about stimulus, because they're playing with a lot of people's lives, livelihoods, and their way of life. So I'm gonna go out there. The information has been researched. I'm gonna construct the video, and that'll be released at 2 p.m. Central Times. You guys have a great, wonderful day. Until I see you again, learn money and be inspired. I'm out.